What up, y'all? It's your boy R to the A to the S. Yes, Roz. Here with See What Costs the Blog. And today I'm here to give a little response to the recent Saigon video that he put out in response to the whole Rick Ross, SOSH.com controversy. Number one, let me say this. I do respect Saigon as an artist, as an MC. You know, he's street, gritty artist with some hardcore beats. I don't agree with him on everything that, you know, he says, but there are some things, some stances that he has that I actually do agree with. So I do respect him as an artist. However, I do want to give some of my thoughts, some of my responses to some of the things he said in his response video. Number one, what he said about as far as his daughter and the question as far as what she asked him, like, Daddy, what is a menage? I mean, that is just sad. That's just really the results of the world we live in. And I mean, I don't know. I don't have a daughter. I have a niece and nephew. But if they would have asked her the question, I mean, I would be like, where did you hear this at? And so it's just really a really sad world that we I live in when 3-year-olds are asking questions like that. But as far as this whole Rick Ross thing, my thing is this. He said some valid things about Rick Ross in that SOHH interview. Now, I can respect if he feels like he didn't do the interview to start a beef with Rick Ross or go against Rick Ross right there. Okay, I can respect that. I think the actual segment that's been playing, I listened to the whole 17-minute interview. I would invite you to go listen to it yourself and you make your own decisions. I think a lot of stuff he said about Rick Ross was true. And even though he doesn't want to go at him like that, like he said, he clearly wants to make peace with Rick Ross. He followed him on Twitter. You know, I guess he's had conversations with him before. So obviously he doesn't want it to turn into a Saigon versus Rick Ross type of thing. And you know what? I can respect that. However, though, if you're a person that has these strong opinions about the state of hip-hop and things of that sort, I think he should have went in on the video as far as, you know, what is the truth, what he really does feel about Rick Ross and his music. Because I think at the end, he sort of backed off. He was like, you know, Rick Ross, you do your thing. You know, I got my lane. What he said, like, I got my lane, you got your lane, etc., etc. And to me, I don't think that is the right approach. He should stick with his strong opinions. Rick Ross, music, and yes, like he said, it's not as all about Rick Ross. There is record companies, there are people that's pushing him to push that image. I agree with that. But still, the responsibility comes back on Rick Ross. And he does need to be challenged. As Saigon do need to challenge these rappers on the images they are portraying. And to back off and say, hey, get your money, get your, do your lane, do your thing. Get your money? I mean, that's what he's been doing. Why would you tell him to go get your money? Because the way he's been getting his money is to sell people this image, to sell people this lies of the drug dealer, and, you know, there are no consequences, you ain't going to jail, and, you know, you're just going to this fantasy rap. So why would you say, hey, man, you do you, do your thing? No. If you're saying you're going to be like this Malcolm X, this Huey Newton, then you need to challenge these rappers as well. I'm not saying you don't challenge the record companies, but ultimately these rappers make the choice. And you need to challenge them on the things that they are saying. And you should not back off of that. If you're going to be this revolutionary, you could do it in a respectful way and say, hey, this is the effect you're having on kids. Kids are emulating you. Kids want to be like you, Rick Ross. They looking at your image. You're one of the most popular rappers. Challenge what he's putting out. Challenge the image that he's portraying. That doesn't mean you got to be disrespectful. Doesn't mean you got to be like, oh, forget Rick Ross. He ain't nothing but... No, but you can challenge the image that he's portraying. You can challenge the things that he's saying and the things that the kids are emulating. That's what I didn't like about that response video. Okay, sure, you want to back off and say this is not a beef between you and Rick Ross, fine. But at the same time, you still need to have that boldness to challenge him on the things he's saying. And that's what I didn't get that. It just more came like, you do you, and I do me. But that's not the point. If you're this revolutionary, you're here to challenge the status quo. You need to challenge what these rappers are saying. And that includes Rick Ross. You do it in a respectful way and challenge Rick Ross. He's the most popular rapper. Why not? He should be able to respect that. I mean, Rick Ross, no, the image he portrayed ain't real. Everybody know Rick Ross ain't about that life. So why not challenge it in a respectful way? You see what I'm saying? So that was my problem. I think he backed off too much, and he still needs to go in there and challenge him. Now, of course, Saigon fans, y'all gonna probably go at me and stuff like that. I ain't go at Saigon. I'm just challenging him the way he needs to be challenging Rick Ross to be bold like that and speak what's real. There's not a lot of rappers in the mainstream that can do it. Saigon has an opportunity. He needs to do it. He needs to talk about Rick Ross because he's one of the main people. That's my thoughts on it. This your boy Roz here, but see what costs the blog. Kobe Sutts, and I'm out. Triples.